Donald Trump's supernova of, quote, suspense. The Republican nominee walked off the debate stage last night having created one mega-galactic problem for himself when he refused to say he would accept the results of the presidential election. Today, at a rally in Delaware, Ohio, here is how he tried to clean up his self-made mess.
I would like to promise and pledge to all of my voters and supporters and to all of the people of the United States that I will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win. Of course, I would accept a clear election result, but I would also reserve my right to contest or file a legal challenge in the case of a questionable result.
So, Mark, with his efforts today, do you believe that Donald Trump has put this matter behind him effectively or not?
He compounded one unforced error with another. This story will live on now. I think in the absence of there are no more debates, I don't expect any other big news to occur unless there's some major WikiLeaks disclosure or something. He's created a second-day problem by saying something that is almost as offensive to people. Underneath, like 7 layers of rhetoric, he's got a point, but it's under 7 layers of rhetoric. And the way he has talked about this has offended people across the country, and he only compounded his problem today.
The reality is that, A, we do not have a problem, a widespread problem of voter fraud in this country. There's no evidence of it. It does not exist. The other thing is that we have, in many states, we have mandatory recount laws. If the vote is really close, there's a mandatory recount. So you don't need to avail yourself of those rights, right? There's first thing's not a problem. The second thing is handled if they're super close. We have recounts. We have examinations. That's what happened in 2000 in Florida. I don't understand why, if he wanted to make the second point, which was to say, well, of course, I want to make sure everything's legit here, why he needed to say the first thing. The first thing, which is I will accept, which is the soundbite that's going to play forever. I will accept the result if I win, which, as you said, is in some ways worse than what he said the night before.
Yeah. He took what was a solid debate performance. Unfortunately for him, Hillary Clinton had a more than solid debate performance, and he undermined it by this. I watched a lot of coverage last night and today. It's all anybody's talking about, and it's all anybody's going to talk about into tomorrow. Now, could the storyline change tomorrow? Maybe. Right. But this will linger in history.
Yes.
And it will linger in the news cycle.
To be clear, there's a reason why it's lingering. There's a reason why people are focused on it. Republicans, elected Republicans currently in office, former Republicans, the former chair of the Republican Party who said it was disqualifying last night on television. It is something no major party nominee has ever said or done before, which is to suggest that they would not abide by the peaceful transfer of power. It's a huge abrogation of a basic democratic norm in this country, and we are not just being media freaks to be focused on this. It's a big deal.
I said this morning that elites care more about this than quote-unquote regular people. I think that's true. You know, elites control the coverage, and elites control the political dialogue.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's the case. So lots of Americans will care about this, but the people who really care about it, the people who will drive the coverage and chatter about it for days on end.
There's no doubt about that, but I know what you're saying is that they care more about it, but there are lots of normal Americans,
of course,
to reinforce the point. Lots of normal Americans were upset about this last night when he said it.
By it.